Whoa, Avi Loeb, a Harvard scientist and leader of the Galileo Project, has just said that UFOs might come from Mars. This is nuts. This is crazy. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos, and comment below as I'm going through the story. If you want to support Cosmic Road, please consider becoming a channel member to receive exclusive access and videos. See the first line in the description below, or simply leave a tip in the tip jar with the super thanks feature below. Okay, moving on with the story. This is breaking news from howsandwhys.com, and I'm just going to read a paragraph or two. The head of the Galileo Project, Avi Loeb, speculated that Mars, which is the main spot for NASA to find the clue to alien life, was once the home to a long-vanished civilization that may have thrived like earthly civilization. According to the most recent study of data from NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, Mars was rippling with rivers and ponds over the first half of its history. Based on the analogy with Earth, it is conventionally expected that Mars developed microbial life, blah, blah, blah. This study gives thought to Mr. Loeb into believing the possibility that intelligent life, not great writing, on Mars developed just twice as fast as it did on Earth. I think they mean to say if intelligent life developed twice as fast as it did on Earth, there could have been a technologically advanced civilization there a few billion years before humans showed up on Earth. Of course, you could say much the same thing for Earth. There could and probably were technological civilizations on Earth before modern man, or at least the current epoch. I can't say that word. Epoch of man. Avi Loeb writes, planets like Mars or Earth could have given multiple births to technological civilizations that were a billion years apart and hence were not aware of each other. Like stable parents, the planets recovered from the environmental impact of these civilizations over time. We may have been separated in time from siblings that we never had the opportunity to meet, and so we are unaware of their existence. Okay, but here's the interesting part. Mr. Loeb believes it is possible that some of the technological advancement devices made by early inhabitants of Mars and Earth are still operational elsewhere in the solar system. He suggests, in that case, old flying gadgets could be a source of some of the U.A.P. in reports from the Director of National Intelligence to the U.S. Congress. Boom! Mic drop. Anyway, the article goes on, and I'll link to it below, but that is amazing. Avi Loeb believes that there could be ancient civilizations on Mars that still have devices, gadgets as he calls them, up and running in the solar system today. So what exactly does he mean by that? Is he talking AI? Is he talking drones? Is he saying that these things have evolved their own consciousness and they're just technological devices running around with their own awareness? What exactly are his beliefs? What exactly is he saying? Is a little bit unclear from his comments in the article. But there is so much evidence that NASA, for example, has airbrushed photos and edited videos to hide evidence of, aliens, if you want to call them that, on Mars, going back, many years. They've done the same for the moon. They've done the same for the Earth's, orbiting Earth, the upper atmosphere of Earth. I can talk. And of course, there have been numerous remote viewers that have remote viewed Mars and have seen beings there to this day. I watched a remote viewing session just a few months ago. I believe this was from the Farsight Institute And they had a team of remote viewers viewing a really interesting geological or possibly geological feature on Mars, where there's this water or this fluid that is pumping out of this weird rock, and they were trying to determine what that structure was and what was the nature of this fluid. And they determined, the remote viewers, that there were actually a colony of human-like beings there. And this was some sort of hardship deployment for them, and they weren't expecting to survive or return wherever they came from. But they were here for some mission, doing something in some, factory-like, or some big apparatus that they were involved with, and that was responsible for that weird fluid gushing. And they were still here to this day. There have been other remote viewers, for example, that have seen ancient civilizations on Mars like 1 million years ago. And those were more of the non-human variety. Now, remote viewing Mars in places like that is really tricky because it's hard to verify. I mean, it would be a lot easier to verify if we could trust NASA, but, we can't, obviously. I would like to say that with the new leadership of NASA, somebody who is openly talking about the reality of U.A.P. and UFOs, and seems earnest in his desire to get to the bottom of it, I would like to believe that we would have a better chance of getting real data on Mars. And, if remote viewers can actually see, beings in a certain location alive today, why can't we send a drone to that location, a robot over there, and check it out? And if we could trust NASA not to lie to us. But, that, would make, my impression of remote viewing places like that, I would have a lot more faith in those remote viewing sessions, if we could actually verify what they were seeing, at least in part. And if they went close to that structure with the weird fluid gushing out and they saw some evidence of some activity there, that might be enough to validate a lot of what they were seeing in that session. Unfortunately, we don't have that, and we can't trust NASA to do that. Possibly we could trust some other program or agency. If Elon Musk got up there, maybe we could trust him better than we could NASA. Now, some will say that's a political statement, and that is so unfortunate that we live in that time. No, that was not a political statement. But we really do need independent space programs outside of the efforts of the control group and the suppressing of all of this information to relay to us credible, verifiable evidence of what is actually going on in our solar system. I made a video a couple of weeks ago about a very credible Air Force guy who does not seem to have been read into the program at all. He's not part of any of the government's interaction with the phenomenon, except one time for technical reasons, he was involved with NASA in, I believe, their video editing system, and he was told by some very freaked out technicians, especially one, that there was a base on the backside of the moon, which is fascinating in of itself, but it also is verification of what a lot of remote viewers have seen on the backside of the moon. So I feel much more confident about those remote viewing sessions after having seen his statement about what he was told, I believe, in the 70s by this NASA technician. It would be great if we could get something like that for Mars, where we could get people coming forward, talking about what they have seen in terms of evidence of alien civilizations, past or present, on Mars. But at any rate, I really hope that Avi Loeb clears up his statements, because I would love to know precisely what he means. It sounds like what he's saying are that he believes that intelligent machines created by Martians are still operational in our solar system. And who knows, that could well be the case. And we could even go a step further than that, saying that some of the more humanoid, or the Greys, let's just say the Greys, that a lot of them, especially the smaller ones, are what people call biological robots. If you've read the book The Day After Roswell, Colonel Corso, the author, actually talks about an autopsy done on one of these beings. And there is some dispute, by the way, whether that was an actual Grey, whether the beings in the Roswell crash were classic Grey aliens or something else. They appear to be slightly different. But they're very similar, and this being was a created being. It was, every part of it was designed and I want to say built, but grown for specific purposes. Its brain was electromagnetically aligned. Its skin was designed to interface with the suit that it wore. It was all designed to interface further with the field generated by the ship itself. This was not a naturally occurring being. So would that fit what Avi Loeb is talking about? A, biomechanical or, artificially grown being, running around our solar system created by some alien race? Maybe. I get the impression that's probably not what he's talking about, so I do hope he clarifies those statements in a future interview. I can talk. Anyway, a really cool story. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Please smash the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. Please join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. And please, if you enjoy these videos, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel member. See the first line in the description below, and there's 2 tiers of membership to receive exclusive access in videos. Until next time, this is Jack with Cosmic Road.